this is bracket week, presented by Kubota. Final game of the night, the 6-seed Fresno State, the 3-seed San Diego State. Now all the top seeds have won so far, but look at this. Boise State, the 1-seed, 2-point win. Wyoming, the 4-seed, 3-point win. Colorado State, the 2-seed, a 2-point win. And here we go with San Diego State and Fresno State. Hi, everybody. Rich Waltz, along with Dan Bonner. Evan Washburn will join us shortly. What do you think San Diego State is thinking right now after watching those 3 finishes?
Well, I tell you one thing San Diego State is thinking is the last time they played Fresno State, it was an overtime game.
Yeah, it was. And the defense was superb. And that's the calling card for San Diego State.
Well, it was the calling card under Steve Fisher and has continued that way under Brian Dutcher. This is a team number 2 in the country in opponent points per game. They can cut you off. They can really force you into some difficult situations. They are based on defense, but their offense is built around this guy. The transfer from Cal, Matt Bradley, has had an outstanding season, and he and his team have picked it up offensively as of late, Rich.
You said the magic word, overtime. Fresno State's played 3 consecutive overtime games. That's 1 short of an NCAA record. They had to go overtime last night to beat San Jose State, and were it not for Jordan Campbell, they might still be playing.
Well, Jordan Campbell's not a 3-point shooter, but he's really good when he gets the ball and goes to the goal. And this is the final shot that wins the game, so they're glad he's really good. Now, on the inside, Orlando Robinson, he has been a key feature for this Fresno State Bulldog team the entire year. Over his last couple of games, Rich, those are really amazing numbers. Everybody tries to double team him hard, because if you don't, that's exactly what you get.
Yeah, 34 and 31 is what you get. Fresno State gets their 3rd crack at San Diego State. Last game of the day in the quarterfinals of the Mountain West. 6-seed Fresno State, 3-seed San Diego State, ready to go. Justin Hudson, longtime assistant to Steve Fisher and Brian Dutcher. He's one of the guys that helped design that great San Diego State defense, and he's implemented it at Fresno State. 19 and 12, the number 6 seed finished at 8 and 9 in the conference. Kubota brings you the starting lineups. The question is, can Fresno State get some 3-point shooting from Anthony Holland, Jordan Campbell, and Isaiah Hill? And who's going to score besides Matt Bradley for San Diego State? And to introduce the San Diego State head coach, here's our Evan Washburn. Evan?
Thanks, Rich. Yeah, Brian Dutcher, who has a ton of experience in championship moments, recognizes that his team, by all metrics, have secured a spot in the NCAA tournament next week. But he sees the value in this tournament as a chance to experience the one-done moments, the tension that comes in a tournament, the scenarios that come up over the course of this game and possibly the next 3 days. And then, guys, there's the standard at San Diego State. As he put it to us, it's about hanging banners, and hanging another banner starts with this game.
You're right, Evan. They've appeared in 4 consecutive Mountain West Championship games, 7 of the last 8. And as Dan pointed out, San Diego State and Fresno State have played each other a couple times. And of course, a double overtime win in San Diego. We'll see if Fresno State can match that here. That was a game that certainly went down to the wire. How much is in the tank of Fresno State, I guess, is a good question after all these overtimes.
Well, and that is a very good question. Anthony Holland last night played 45 minutes. Orlando Robinson played 41 minutes, but it was like 45 minutes because he got fouled 12 times.
I mean, Robinson's minutes, 47 and a half, 43, and 40 minutes. And 29 fouls drawn in those 3 games with the OTs. He's really something. He is an NBA prospect, 7-footer, 235-pound. And he's not your prototypical big, Dan. He is really fluid, has a great jump shot, can shoot the 3.
Well, he's not a high percentage 3-point shooter. He only shoots 32% on the year out there, but he's made 33-point baskets, so you got to guard him. You have to respect his ability to do that.
And defensively, these 2 teams are absolute clones. They still have some of the same language and the same sets that they call. defensively.
We showed you San Diego State #2 in the country in scoring defense. Fresno State's #3.
Robinson first touch, first shot, and it goes down and out. Bradley with the first touch for San Diego State. The Cal transfer has been the scorer for the Aztecs, but the guy with the ball in his hands has hit some big shots as well. Trey Pulliam. This is Lamont Butler, defensive specialist, energy guy. Pulliam takes the three, and that is short. And Keyshawn Johnson can't retrieve it. It's a Fresno State ball.
Well, this is a San Diego State team that shoots 36% from beyond the three-point arc on the year. Pulliam, however, is not one of the great shooters. He's only 32% on the year. But again, their whole thing is based on defense. If they can force some turnovers, get out and get some easy baskets against this tough Bulldog defense, then they'll be much to the advantage of the Aztecs.
Live ball turnovers, what Justin Hudson and Brian Dutcher are hunting for.
This is a great matchup right here.
Defensive Player of the Year in the conference, Nathan Mensah guarding Robinson. Open three, and short on that. Robinson runs it down, and he's out of bounds. And that was Anthony Holland.
He was 0 for 6, Holland was, shooting threes yesterday. Fresno State as a team shot 4 for 23 from beyond the arc. And they still won the game. They shot 41% overall, 17% from three, 59% from the free throw line, and somehow managed to win that game.
And both teams will press, though San Diego State has more depth than Fresno State. Hustle still alive. Mensah has it. Shot clock still a factor, down to 10. Late clock, it's oftentimes Bradley dribble, 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 and then go to work. Butler, good shot fake and a bucket.
Really nice job by Butler to drive that ball to the basket. He's not a three-point shooter, but he's pretty effective going to the goal. You mentioned they don't rely on him for a lot of offense.
Isaiah Hill kicks. Campbell three. No. Mensah with the rebound. Campbell shoots 26% from distance.
Now he's better going to the goal.
Pulliam, the floater is usually his best shot. And it stays with San Diego State.
Well, Butler is a guy who can drive the ball to the basket. He does a nice job. You see him jump stop there, collect himself. You know, he gets the big guy off his feet with that fake, and then the jump stop, he waits till Robinson comes down, and then he gets it up over.
Bradley, very good three-point shooter and muscular enough to get points inside. Kick, Butler, three, no. Follow, Mensah, and the tip, Mensah.
Well, Robinson in there trying to be fairly careful. And Robinson is a guy who can't get in foul trouble, obviously, but needs to be a little more aggressive with his blocking out.
Ooh, Holland got poked in the eye there with Butler defensively. Robinson gets double teamed all the time. Right now, just Mensah on him. Dribbles through, good feed, and a bucket. Leo Colomario.
Well, Colomario is a guy that it's usually his guy who's going to double team Robinson, and Colomario that time found an open seam, and Robinson found him.
Bradley, cold start for both teams.
Well, Colomario, he is 6'7". He's got long arms. It's going to be tough for Bradley to shoot over him. Bradley operates very well off screens, but we haven't seen that yet tonight.
Mensah out with Robinson. He's a willing passer, although sometimes not an accurate one, and that is a 5-second count.
When he picks up his dribble, his teammates have to do a better job giving him an option. The 5-second violation is something you rarely see. A few years ago, they changed the rules so you don't get a 5-second dribbling violation, and guys most of the time can get rid of it before the 5-second call.
Like once a week you see it.
If that often.
If you watch a lot of basketball.
Yeah, if you watch basketball every day.
Holland drawing the assignment on Bradley. Mensah, not a great offensive player, but he does bring energy. He gets a lot of points around the rim, many times on an offensive rebound. This is Robinson, hard. Keshad Johnson. Fresno State 1 of 5 from the field. San Diego State 2 of 8. And a turnover. Well, we expect a slugfest here. And so far, we got one. San Diego State, Fresno State, Bracket Week, presented by Kubota.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Kubota. Together we do more. By AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, and secure. And by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
We're in the Thomas and Mack with Las Vegas all lit up. Great college basketball town this week with all these conference tournaments and, of course, home of the Mountain West. And the quarterfinals have been fabulous. The average scoring margin of the 3 games, less than 3 points. 7 total points in the 3 games. And here in this 4th game, San Diego State's trying to polish their tournament resume.
And it's a very good tournament resume, but again, you get into this time of the season and you want to keep winning games because that takes the decision out of the committee's hands.
Yes, you don't want bid stealers out there to come get your bid. Jerry Palm has him as a 19. Of course, Brian Dutcher is no stranger to the NCAA tournament, and his best team, one of the best teams in Mountain West history, never got to go to the NCAA tournament that year. Of course, with the pandemic, they were set to be either a low 1 or a high 2 seed in the NCAA tournament after going 30-2.
Well, that was a fabulous team.
They won the Mountain West tournament last year, beat Utah State. Ouch. Oh, goodness. Tahiro Diabate, who is playing with really sore ribs.
Well, that didn't help. He got his fingers tangled up in the rim, on the net, trying to block that shot, went down hard.
Diabate adds rebounding and defense. Pulliam with a man on his hip.
Diabate played pretty effectively in the last game between these 2 teams when Mensah got in foul trouble early.
Orlando Robinson with the rebound. 4-4 ball game. Fresno State, San Diego State. Isaiah Hill. Campbell feeds Robinson. They're going to have 3 guys guarding Robinson tonight. Great block there. Keshad Johnson is an underappreciated defender himself. Bradley.
And that's what Bradley will do. He wants to do that. San Diego State is not a team that plays very quickly, but when you get Bradley open in a transition 3, you'll take that every time.
And that's one thing that Brian Dutcher has talked about this year. Hill rises and hits a 16-footer for Fresno State to take a 6-4 lead. They like at times if they can get in transition. They feel Bradley gets better looks than just that dribble end of the shot clock game.
And particularly, you want to try to get him some easy looks against a defense like this.
Yeah, that looks like your own defense.
Yeah. Colomario, again, he's 6'7", long arms. It's going to be tough for Bradley to shoot over him in a one-on-one situation.
Keshad Johnson misses that 3. Robinson has a rebound. Johnson with a lead.
Johnson has only made 6 3-point baskets on the season. He's not the guy you want shooting the 3.
Yeah, well, he started out 1 for 20. So actually, he's been on the up.
He's been on fire.
Yes, he has. he's now 6 of 29. But you're right. He's
5 of his last 9, now 5 of his last 10. So, okay.
He's not the guy you want. Campbell checks out. I think so far, if you're Justin Hudson, you got to be thrilled with this start here. When your team has played 3 consecutive overtime games, you're playing against just a nightmare of a defense, and you're even right now, or rather up by 2, but the game feels even at this point.
This is not a game that is going to be decided in the 80s.
Bench is in for San Diego State. That's a 5-second call and a turnover. Brian Dutcher not real happy. AG is in. Gork Orope, Josh Tomajic, and Chad Baker-Mazara, who's the 6th man of the year in the Mountain West. He can add some offense. Adam Seiko, a really good 3-point shooter, is in as well for San Diego State.
Rich, you mentioned earlier, San Diego State, they like to use their depth to try to maintain that defensive pressure.
Holland misses, and that's Braxton Mia, who's played good minutes in reserve against San Diego State, and he's a key tonight because he takes a lot of pressure, a lot of the dirty work away from Robinson when he's in there.
And he and Robinson are right now playing at the same time, and that really is a formidable front line.
A rope is not a guy you want guarding you. He is a nightmare.
That's really a nice job by a rope to force him to give up the basketball. Didn't let him get by.
Shot clock at 5. Yap. Skidding stop. Got to get it up. He does, and it doesn't hit iron. That is a shot clock violation.
And that is not a surprising sequence. Justin Hudson, he knows what that San Diego State defense can do. This is really a good job to prevent Yap from getting by. You talked about Lamont Butler and his defensive skills. He showed you right there. They do such a good job of keeping the dribblers in front of them.
You can see Justin Hudson screaming, move the ball. Both coaches and both coaching staffs talked about that. Tomajic, that's in and out. Mia way up to get the rebound.
Well, Tomajic is a guy who can shoot that. He doesn't make a lot of them, but shoots a pretty good percentage. Now, the ball's got to move from side to side. In and out would be acceptable, too. But you've got to get this defense moving.
Yap, who transferred from UNLV, missed the shot. Robinson rebound. A rope with a rip. And he's fouled.
A little bit of frustration there on Yap's part.
6-4 starts. Final game, quarterfinals, Mountain West, Fresno State on top. Bracket Week presented by Kubota. 6-4, Fresno State on top of San Diego State. Moments ago, Brian Dutcher and our Evan Washburn.
Well, Coach, we knew this game would be one where points would come at a premium. What can you do to open things up offensively?
We got to try to execute better. Justin does a great job defensively. He helped us set our defense all those years ago. So points are a struggle for both teams. So we got to stick with it, try to get some easy ones on the break and maybe offensive putback.
Coach, thank you.
Thanks, Evan.
Yeah, they are clones of each other defensively. Justin Hudson, Brian Dutcher, of course, they were both assistants for longtime head coach Steve Fisher. Brian Dutcher in his 5th year taking over. And, of course, Hudson, opportunity to coach at Fresno State. He's got Fresno State at number 75 in the net, and that's coming off of a 500 season last year. They got some momentum in Fresno. A rope against Mia. Mia sends it with a 2-hand stuff. Baker-Mazara stepped out of bounds.
Both defenses are just swarming defenses. Brian Dutcher had it right. They got to stick with it, but you got to get something easy, and that's the problem so far. Neither one of these teams has been able to get anything easy.
Where is easy right now for either of these defenses?
Well, I think in terms of your defense has to create the easy. You've got to force some turnovers, force some tough shots, and get out and go a little bit on the break. Although that's not the strong suit of either one of these teams, getting out on the break.
Deion Stroud is in the ball game for Fresno State. He hasn't seen a lot of time lately. This is Stroud. He has some skills.
Well, he has a reputation as being a really good offensive player.
That's going to stay with Fresno State, but the shot clock didn't reset. It's got just 5 on it.
Well, you're talking about defense and maybe creating some turnovers, and Baker Mazzara comes really close right there. He tips it ahead, and interestingly enough, none of his teammates were running after the ball. Only he was.
This is like an end-of-game situation, right? You have 5 seconds on the shot clock. Rarely do you have a baseline out of bounds in the opposite end with 5 on the shot clock.
That's a good point,
So this
Rick.
is where you empty the play for the end of the game.
You don't want to give anything away, though. That's not it.
Stroud. And again, that is not the end of the half. It was the end of the shot clock.
Now, how many times do you see that? The shot clock running down, and you have a half-court shot with 10 minutes left in the half.
Baker Mazzara, second shot, good.
And that's the other way you get easy. You get second chance opportunities. Brian Dutcher mentioned that to Evan as well.
Yeah, I know the Golden Knights are popular here, and it does kind of feel like one of these teams needs a power play, right? Just to get something going.
Well, maybe Baker Mazzara will provide that. He's a guy who can score a little bit. He's lanky, athletic guy. He can shoot the 3, but that time he got a second chance opportunity.
Robinson trying to pick and pop, but nothing's going. And they have shut off access to this guy.
Well, they're doing a great job against Robinson. Mensah moves his feet and forces a tough shot. That was defending him one-on-one. A rope is denying him the basketball. That's another way to hurt him. And then here, Tomajic comes in the game. So in 3, we've seen 3 separate guys guarding him.
A rope. Dave Velasquez, one of the assistant coaches for San Diego State, said they have 5 different players that they feel can guard Robinson. What worries them are the other guys. And right now the other guys are struggling as well. I mean, Robinson's going to get you 20 on just about every night. His last 2 games, he's gone for 34 and 31.
Yeah, but we're halfway through the first half, and Robinson has only attempted 2 field goals, hadn't made any yet.
The challenge is, can Fresno State supplement him? Can their guards hit some threes? Down goes Pulliam. Down goes Bradley. Up goes Campbell.
Well, that's the way to get an easy shot if everybody on the other team falls down. Brian Dutcher very upset about that. He felt like there should have been a foul called.
Pulliam, stop, and a floater, and a foul.
That's a really tough shot by Pulliam. But here Pulliam falls down, and then Bradley falls down, and I guess there was a little contact there, but and sometimes if you can't get an boy, that was a strange play.
But to your point, defense leads to offense. This looks like a difficult shot. Pulliam is a better shooter when it's difficult. He, as a floater in the lane, he has hit some huge shots that have won games for San Diego State.
Well, if he's a better shooter when it's difficult, he's going to have a heck of a night tonight.
Well, I mean, when he's making it difficult, when he's moving and all that, the spot up 3, not so much, but that floater can be deadly. Nathan Mensah picked up the foul, his first.
I mean, now that Mensah has the 1 foul, go right to Robinson so you can get the second.
Baker Mazzara. Oh! And he had company.
How quick was that, though? He got to steal and beat everybody down the court, even though they were closing in on him. That's twice now that he's tipped the ball away.
Energized the San Diego State fans who've made the trip to Vegas course, they have great crowds at Viejas Arena. Robinson blocked. That's Mensah. Defensive Player of the Year in the Mountain West. Robinson got around him and over him and scores.
Well, that's a 50-50 thing. You stop him once, it's hard to stop him the second time. And suddenly we've had an offensive explosion, Rich. It's 10-10. Whew.
Robinson with that bucket and an offensive foul. Moving screen.
Well, we've got a couple of baskets.
Happy to
Mazzara with the great steal. And at the other end, the big guy. That's what we expect. Tie game.
Colorado State head coach Nico Medved next to him. Are you serious with that shot? Ali Farouk-Manesh, as they watch, they get the winner of this one. And moments ago, Justin Hudson with our Evan Washburn.
Well, Coach, this has been a battle, as expected. Orlando Robinson, how do you get him going here in the remaining 7:53 of this first half?
Keep moving the ball. As long as we keep moving the ball and generating good shots, Orlando will get going.
What do you like about your defense?
We're playing hard.
That's what you do, right?
That is what we do. We got to sustain it, though. So do they.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Pretty simple. Orlando Robinson,
Well,
1 for 4, got a couple points.
Well, Evan was talking about the defense, but I will tell you that this game is, Rich, is sort of a throwback to the 70s. Nobody's made a three, but in the 70s there you couldn't make a three because there wasn't one. Each team has missed 5 3-point baskets in this one.
It's not for lack of trying. Hollins, Campbell. This is Robinson. I mean, we make light of it, but you wouldn't want to face either of these defenses tonight.
Now, one of the things Justin Hudson was talking about moving the basketball. I think they have to move the basketball and get it to Robinson down in the low post. Mensah moves his feet too well. That's too big an ask of Robinson to try to drive the ball to the basket. Baker Mazzara going to pick up his second illegal screen foul of the game.
10-10 ball game. 7:25 left.
And Baker Mazzara.
Yeah, they're going to go to the monitor to look at this. Eric Curry is the alternate official. Every one of these tournament games has an alternate official who runs the replay board. Vern Harris.
Let's see what they're looking at over here on the right side. So Baker Mazzara got tangled up on the inside, and he did throw his arm out there. At the top of your screen, Baker Mazzara.
Well, it's one thing to push. It's another thing to push up around the neck or up around the face. Once he got those arms up, that's an immediate red flag for a referee and a whistle.
Well, Ballard did a nice job getting in the way, and even though he's defending a guy without the ball, you're allowed to establish your position. And Baker Mazzara can't run through him.
David Hall over there as well. Just to review, flagrant 1, avoidable unnecessary contact, hooking, pushing, holding a player from behind to prevent a score. Don't think you're going to get a flagrant 2 on this. I don't know that it was excessive, severe, or extreme.
Well, excessive and or unnecessary is a flagrant 1. Excessive and severe or extreme is the flagrant 2.
I would vote for unnecessary.
Well, I don't know. I think that, you know, he's trying to cut through and he banged into him. It didn't look to me like he was throwing his arms out there. Avoidable maybe, but unnecessary, I'm not sure.
And we will get an explanation. Could be a basketball play.
Foul penalty 1 on white 20 for the forearm shiver up into the face there. Unsporting-like, well, not unsporting-like, it's unnecessary contact to the face. F1, we're going to take the ball out when we come back. We're going to shoot the ball and take it back out that way.
Very detailed explanation.
Very detailed explanation. Unnecessary forearm to the head area, so it'll be a flagrant 1.
It's going to send
Ballard to the line. It's not a technical foul, it's a flagrant 1. So Ballard was the player fouled. So he'll go to the line and shoot 2 free throws. And then Fresno State will get the ball.
Fresno State, a pretty good free throw shooting team at 74%. Baker Mazzara, 6th man of the year in the conference. Now, he's had a great game against Fresno State and a not-so-great game against Fresno State. He went for 20 in Fresno, but had just 2 in the overtime win at home.
And the interesting thing, at Fresno, San Diego State won by 17 points. And when they played them in San Diego, it was an overtime game.
Yeah, that's not optimal
offense basketball.
Robinson against Mensah. Robinson over Mensah, and it drops in.
That's what I was talking about. That's the area where Robinson needs to handle the basketball. Normally he can drive against guys from the exterior, but he's got to get closer inside because Mensah just moves his feet too well.
Bradley backing in. Double comes for him. Stripped away. Man, this is a melee out on the floor. Hill with it.
See, when you get a steal like that, I think you got to try to push the ball. Either one of these teams.
Screen for Ballard, and he drops one in. And a 5-point lead feels like a 15-point lead right now. 6:15 left in this first half.
Now, you were talking about the other guys for Fresno State. Well, they're scoring pretty well right at the moment. Let's see if that basket gets Holland going.
Pulliam kicks. They'll let Johnson shoot the 3. They'll dare Pulliam to shoot it as well. Gets into the lane, lost the ball, on the floor. And Fresno State, who looks every bit as good defensively as San Diego State tonight. 8 turnovers apiece. A willing passer, sometimes not an accurate passer.
Well, here he gets the ball. Now, he's not in the low post, so he's got to take a couple of dribbles, but he's close enough that the defense can't get there in time. And then Holland with the jump shot. And we mentioned Holland really struggled yesterday. Still hasn't made a 3, but maybe when he sees that ball go in the basket, he'll find the 3-point shooting range.
Seiko hasn't had a clean look at a 3. He's their best 3-point shooter outside of Bradley. And then it goes right through his legs. That's 9 turnovers for San Diego State.
Well, 9 turnovers for each team.
Maybe there's a reason they scheduled this game late at night. You know what? You still have the feeling it's going to be tight at the end, which is all you're asking for. There's the double, and Mensah from behind takes it from Robinson. Seiko's 3. Yes! Finally got a look.
When Seiko is the guy who can make 3s, that's his job, to come in the game and shoot the 3s. It's better when he makes them, but there you have a turnover. It results in an easy basket.
First 3 of the night for either team. Robinson, crossover, kind of leans in, got it up and in.
Boy, that is a tough shot. That gives you an idea of the ability of Robinson.
This guy's played a lot of minutes in the last 3 games. 40 or more in all 3, another turnover. This is Colomario. Holland, and there's points off a live ball turnover in transition. A rarity tonight, but big for Fresno State. Bulldogs are great defensively as well, and they turn this into 2. 6-point lead. Bracket Week presented by Kubota. Meat grinder of a first half right now with Fresno State, the 6th seed, on top of 3 seed San Diego State. Reese's player profile. Dan Bonner, tell us about Orlando Robinson.
Well, Orlando Robinson is a very, very skilled player, obviously, and he's a guy, we've already said, at 7 feet tall, he can shoot the ball from the outside. He draws a ton of fouls. He gets to the free throw line. He's a pretty good free throw shooter. Obviously a very good student. You can see he increased his scoring average this year, and he is a guy who plays a lot of minutes.
So does Evan Washburn. He's been in all 4 quarterfinals, and he was in the huddle of Brian Dutcher. Evan?
Yeah, Rich, and Dutch is kind of putting words to exactly how I think we're all feeling, telling us guys, you're squeezing too hard, you're trying too hard to make a play. He also made the point that they're only playing on one side of the floor, kind of reiterating, they are us. We have to move the ball to find lanes against this defense.
That's good stuff, and that we've heard that from both coaches. We got to go side to side against these guys. Brian Dutcher, Justin Hudson, good friends. A lot of success together. Seiko open. Not anymore. Holland knocked it into the seats.
Seiko catches the ball and collects, and Holland comes from behind.
A rope back in with Seiko, Tamajic, Butler, and Pulliam for San Diego State. Deion Stroud seeing some minutes for Fresno State. A rope with the offensive rebound. He does that. He's a really good offensive rebounder.
Well, this is not a great offensive lineup in the game right at the moment for San Diego State.
Unless Seiko gets a clean 3, and that ain't happening right now. Pulliam, late clock, got to get it up. Block. This is Stroud in transition. San Diego State gets back pretty quickly.
And the ball's not going side to side for Fresno State either.
No. Hill. Robinson, rebound, put back. He's been their best offense inside.
What happened there was they forced a switch, and Robinson went to the basket, and he was mismatched against a guard. So even though the shot missed, he was in great position for an offensive rebound.
He's almost got a double-double here in the half. He's 8.7 rebounds. Pulliam, floater. Yes.
There's that floater that you talked about, Rich, and that's what Pulliam does best.
They'd like him to be more aggressive offensively.
Well, he does have a reputation as a very unselfish player.
Butler got a hand on it. Coming up, AT&T at the half. Adam Zucker, Wally Zerbiak, Chris Walker, John Rothstein in our New York studio. What a great day of college basketball, conference tournaments, NCAA tournament implications. Last 4 in, first 4 out, Jerry Palm, all of that, AT&T at the half.
And we are rapidly approaching the time where it's not going to be speculation anymore. We're going to know.
Hill's air ball sails out of bounds. Minute 42 left.
But if you're San Diego State, you have some confidence because you know your defense is going to keep you close. And over the last few games, over the last 8 or 9 games, San Diego State has been much better than previously during the season on the offensive end.
Well, that's great defense. They almost didn't get it in.
They got to get Bradley going somehow.
He's taken just 2 shots, and he's missed them both. Doubled and fouled. Holland on the reach.
Boy, Bradley has drawn a lot of traffic. He catches the ball and they swarm him.
We have probably the two most fouled players, not foul players, but fouled players in the Mountain West this year with Robinson and Bradley.
Well, they're each so important to the offense of their respective teams.
Seiko, that's what he does. He hits threes.
And he has hit two desperately important threes. Seiko is a guy, almost 81% of his field goal attempts are threes. So as we said, that's his job, to get in the game and shoot threes.
Adam Seiko and San Diego State trying to get some offense going. It's 21-18. 21-18, final quarterfinal on a wild, tight day in the Mountain West. All right, last 5 seasons, 2 teams last year, Utah State and San Diego State. 4 right now by just about every projection. Jerry Palm is our guy, and Jerry Palm has all 4 teams. I think Wyoming especially helping secure their bid with a tight win today.
Doesn't matter how tight it is, you just got to get the win this time of year.
Robinson turns, faces, jumper on the way. Yes.
That's why he's so tough to defend. I thought Arope did a really nice job forcing him to catch the ball 15 feet from the basket, but he just turned and knocked it down.
You can see the fire in his eyes right now. 10 points, 7 rebounds. Final minute, first half. Defensive scuffle here. Mensah against Mia. Yes. Nathan Mensah drops it in.
Mensah can be pretty good around the basket. I thought he waited too long to cut to the goal, but he was able to make a tough shot over Mensah.
Can't take the last shot. And Fresno State certainly taking their time.
It's about a 4.5-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock.
And Bradley's defense has vastly improved this year with the Aztecs. Campbell, Hill, got a man in the air, leans, and shot clock violation. This may be a Mountain West Conference record for shot clock violations in a half. We have a crack staff of researchers and basketball data analysts working on that right now. Right after they finish that most fouled stat. Here comes Butler, falling away. Not a lot of threes, not a lot of twos, not many first downs in this one either.
Well, we expected a defensive struggle, and that's exactly what we have gotten so far. We expected Orlando Robinson to play a big role, and that's exactly what he's done.
But the stakes are high, and this is a tight game in the Mountain West. After the break, Adam and the gang in New York. You're watching the Mountain West Conference quarterfinals here on CBS Sports Network. (23-20) Fresno State on top of San Diego State. Nail biter Thursday in the Mountain West in the quarterfinals. They've all been tight. Numbers here, and it's not good to be in the red with turnovers. Both teams, 11 turnovers. Both coaches certainly will want to clean that up. In a 3-point game right now for Fresno State. Rich Waltz along with Dan Bonner. We'll get to Evan Washburn shortly. I'm sure at halftime, how much was offense and how much was defense for each coach?
Well, I think that Justin Hudson told his players, throw the ball to the guys in the blue shirts. And Brian Dutcher told his guys, throw the ball to the guy in the white shirts. And I think it all starts from there.
Yeah. Well, look, if you threw it to this guy, Orlando Robinson, good things happen.
Well, Robinson was an offensive force in the first half. And I mean, he scored 10 points. And that doesn't seem like much, but he is such a talented player, and he found ways, despite the pressure, to get some baskets.
All right, let's check in with Evan Washburn. Evan?
Yeah, Rich, just spoke with Brian Dutcher and asked him the priorities offensively in the second half, and he kind of reiterated what he said in that huddle. It's about moving the ball, trying to get it from side to side to find ways to attack. I asked about Matt Bradley specifically. Guys, he's scoreless in that first half. He's the leading scorer for the Aztecs. He said he's being doubled. He's got to find other guys. He's not going to be able to beat a double tonight. As for Justin Hudson, to win this game, he feels like it's going to come down to who takes care of the ball better and who rebounds better in this second half.
All right, Evan, that's good stuff. And certainly on Bradley, it's right on the nose. Bradley's last 3 games, 24, 26, and 30 points.
Well, Bradley has no field goals, as you mentioned. He has only 2 shot attempts, and he has 3 turnovers. So when your best player turns the ball over more times than he shoots it, it's generally not a good sign. I think San Diego State is actually fortunate to be down by only 3.
All right, let's see what adjustments are made. And let's see if either team can break out offensively in a tight game with high stakes, especially for San Diego State. Right now they are a 9 seed in the NCAA tournament. Butler going hard, was fouled. Let's see if it was on the shot.
Well, the ball that time did go from side to side. I thought Bradley, though, dribbled off a screen just outside the 3-point arc. That's normally a shot that he can make, and he passed it up.
And you know, the other way to get points is get to the free throw line, but neither team did that much at all. Fresno State was 1 of 2 in the first half, and that's just the second free throw all game for San Diego State. Butler hits it.
It's hard to get to the free throw line if you can't beat your guy off the dribble, and both of these teams are so good at keeping their offensive players in front of them.
Good rebound there by Colomario of Fresno State, and it's a 2-point ball game. First possession now. We'll see how Fresno State attacks offensively.
Pulliam applying full court pressure. I think that's a strategy that can be employed.
Backdoor cut. High percentage shot. Jordan Campbell.
Now he's trying to deny the ball on the wing, and Campbell, we saw yesterday, he's really good going to the goal.
Now Bradley. Good look. Pulliam floater. Got it.
And that's exactly what Evan was talking about, that Brian Dutcher said Bradley had to create for other people. Drew the defense, found Pulliam all alone.
Colomario, lob, Robinson. Now you break the press, and for Fresno State, that's an opportunity they didn't really have a lot of in the first half.
If you beat the pressure, you're going to create an advantage situation. 2-on-1, 3-on-2. The Bulldogs cashed in that time.
Side to side. You see San Diego State moving the ball, and Bradley gets a jumper. How about that? Exactly what Brian Dutcher said. Exactly what Evan Washburn relayed. You move the ball side to side, and you come up with a clean 18-footer. Again, broken pressure. Again, Mensah.
It's hard to throw it over top of Mensah.
Got a hand on the lob. Robinson. Kick. Campbell. 3. Well,
Campbell's not a really good 3-point shooter. I think if you're San Diego State, you'll take Robinson giving it up and Campbell shooting a 3.
Pulliam. Floater. Wow. Money. I'm telling you.
That is a tough shot.
That is his shot. The tougher the shot, the better he is. 27 apiece. Robinson gets in tight, kick out, Hill, clean 3, yes!
And that's Hill is a very good 3-point shooter. Really nice job by Robinson to find the open man.
Robinson 12 points, 7 rebounds, and now 2 assists.
Does it feel to you like we're having an offensive explosion?
Yeah, it feels good. Bradley, Pulliam, shot clock's down. Bradley wants a clear out, takes the 3 over Orlando Robinson. And here comes Fresno State. Colomario. Holland kicks, entry. Robinson, no, Mensah cleans it.
Good job by Mensah to force a tough shot. That was a great entry pass.
Look at this transition three.
Well, you like Seiko shooting that three in transition. You're not quite as excited about Butler doing it.
But at least the game has flow, and it looks like both teams are making a concerted effort to stir the tempo up. Hill around the screen. Robinson, a pick and pop. Yes, a three. Wow. Orlando Robinson at 7 feet tall. He's made 31 threes this year. And a foul that he'd like to have back for sure. Robinson over the back. It's his first personal. There's not a lot of fouls to look at in this one. Offense starting to blossom here. Late at night in Vegas. Bracket Week brought to you by Kubota. Bracket Week presented by Kubota. 33-27. Both offenses starting to show signs of life here. 4 minutes in this quarterfinal game. All right, the Mid-American semifinals, 5 Eastern. Look at this. Toledo and Akron, Kent State, and Ohio. Chalk in the Mack, and that's on CBS Sports Network. And that would be tomorrow. College basketball today. Dan Bonner, Baylor lost to the 7th seed Oklahoma. Big East has been just a great conference this year.
It has been, and Providence surviving close games. That is nothing new.
How about TCU?
How about TCU?
The Fighting Jamie Dixons. Down 20, came back and beat number 22 Texas 65-60. This, the Mountain West, crazy good conference, and the tournament has been fabulous so far. 3 nail-biters in the quarterfinals already today, and this one is tight right now. Seiko, Bradley, that's a three.
Because that's a big shot.
And maybe that gets him going.
Just that little shoulder shake there caused Calamario to take a step back, and that gave him just enough room.
He's got a lot of shoulder to shake.
He does that.
Oh, now a rope is in on Robinson. Backing in. Good return into the low post. And Robinson goes down. He thought he was fouled. So Justin Hudson. Bradley picks his way through. And a charge.
Offensive foul
on Bradley.
Now, the last time down, Bradley wasn't trying to drive it. He sets the screen, pops, and then just that little shake, and Calamario, you see him jump back just a step, and that gives Bradley enough room. That's really a nice play. And Calamario's been pretty good defensively against him.
Was there anyone in uniform tonight who is not pretty good defensively? I'd like to see him.
Touche. You're not on the court if you're not, that's for sure.
Yeah, you're not in the program if you're not for these two schools. Well, Rope is just a great story, great defender. That's offensive foul. Robinson didn't like the call, and he comes screaming out to the official.
Robinson telling him that's a flop. And Robinson, we have seen him showcase his talent. But that, you know, I mean, he lowered that shoulder. And maybe a Rope embellished it a little bit, but I think that's a pretty good call.
It's his second. Robinson rips down the rebound. He's got 8 rebounds to go with 15 points. And 2 fouls now. Hill. Johnson with the rebound.
Look how quickly Fresno State gets back. It's hard to run on either one of these teams just off a rebound.
A Rope, who physically has had issues this year. In fact, he hasn't really practiced much at all this year. But when he's in there, he's a difference maker.
Well, he plays hard, but that was a little optimistic trying to make that move against Robinson.
It's a good way to put it. Robinson's getting doubled a lot now. Campbell straight on three. Robinson keeps it alive. Pulliam has it. In motion. Pulliam driving. Pulliam scoring.
You got to stop the ball if you're the defense, and Pulliam does a really nice job. He hesitated with that dribble and went all the way to the basket because nobody got in his way.
Trey Pulliam leads San Diego State with 10 points. Back to a one-point game. Last of the quarterfinals in the Mountain West. And Trey Pulliam brings San Diego State within one. We've got the 2022 Reese's College All-Star Game presented by Walmart on April 1st, live at 4:30 Eastern Time, right here on CBS Sports Network. This is the Mountain West quarterfinal. This is a one-point game, and the offenses have opened up.
Well, the offenses have opened up because everybody's trying to move a little bit more quickly. Pulliam gets the rebound and starts down the court, and his teammates really help him. Watch what's going on here. Here is Johnson. He's threatening to go here, so this guy's got to look over here, and here is Bradley, so you got to worry about him, and that leaves this lane wide open, and Pulliam recognizes it with the hesitation. Everybody goes toward the other two players who are threatening on the wings, and he goes right down the middle. Nobody stops him. That's a really smart play by Pulliam.
Pulliam 5 of 7. Rest of the team, not so much. 9 of 27.
So you're going over to the right to try to guard Bradley, who's just made a couple of threes. Johnson occupies the guy on the left by cutting to the basket, so you got to go defend him, and Robinson can't catch up in time.
Pulliam has gone from a reluctant scorer to right now the leading scorer.
I think Rope has done a really good job here recently.
That's a great pass, but no finish. Holland missed the layup.
How about a Rope's going after that rebound?
Well, it's amazing that he's playing with all the surgeries he's had, all that he's been through in his college career.
And this is a good look with both Bradley and Seiko in the game at the same time.
A row.
Almost got that one.
Numbers if Fresno State can push it.
It's a great job by Pulliam to get up off his backside and get back on defense. But Rope, I think, has done pretty well against Robinson here over the last few possessions.
Robinson. Stroud, clean three, bangs it home.
And Stroud is a guy who has not had a good year shooting the basketball, but he's a guy who comes in with a reputation as a really good shooter and good offensive player overall.
Much needed three-point shot for Fresno State. 4-point lead, San Diego State. Nick Mazzara, he hasn't had a great scoring night. That's a way high degree of difficulty shot by Pulliam. And he missed it badly. Well, why not?
Well, he only made one shot, so it's a little early for a heat check.
Bradley, strong, blocked. I think it was Holland, but Robinson was there as well. And a timeout on the floor. Tight ball game. San Diego State trying to polish that tournament resume. Down 4. San Diego State is a 3 seed. Fresno State is 6. This is the last quarterfinal, and in each of the first 3, that lower seed has come agonizingly close to the upset. Nevada had a clean look at a 3 for the game winner, missed it. UNLV had a 4-point lead in the last minute, lost it. Colorado State and Utah State went back and forth in that last minute. No upset there. So Fresno State's the last shot at an upset. And, you know, in reality, if you're looking for intrigue in this Mountain West, if it's chalk into the semifinals, all 4 teams are going to go to the NCAA tournament.
Right, because if all the 4 top seeds, who most of the brackets guys, including our Jerry Palm, think are going to be in the NCAA tournament, if they all make it to the semifinals and they lose to one another, then they're not bad losses, doesn't hurt them. But of course, Fresno State, the only way they go is if they win this tournament, and they look like they're serious about it.
Orlando Robinson getting a rest. Braxton Mia, the big, is in off the bench for Fresno State. Clock is down. Hill tries his floater out and missed it. Jacob Mazzara back in. Nathan Mensah back in. Lamont Butler. And Adam Seiko's in for San Diego State. Matt Bradley remains on the floor. Seiko pops out. 16-footer.
Too close.
True.
That was a nice job by Butler to create what seemed like an opening, but good defensive recovery to force Seiko to step inside the three-point line.
At this point in the game, you wonder which expends more energy, playing this type of defense or playing against this type of defense for either side. Stroud turned away at the rim.
Where Baker Mazzara was all alone, and they missed it.
Bradley crossing over, stripped to the ball. This is Stroud. This had the feel of a fast break.
Well, it was a 3-on-2.
You savor those in games like this, and it draws a foul. Again, when we talked about free throw shooting, there hasn't been a lot. 1 of 2 is Fresno State, 1 of 3 is San Diego State, and your point, a good one, that to get fouled, you got to beat your guy off the dribble once in a while, and well, Bradley, hard to do with these 2 teams.
Bradley tried, but the defense collapsed, and they stripped the ball away. These teams are really good at preventing that dribble penetration without fouling.
Robinson's back in. He's a rebound shy of a double-double, 15 and 9. Mensah, one of 3 primary defenders on him. Stroud drives. 12 seconds left on the shot clock.
That was a nice job. They had pretty good ball movement, and they needed a skip pass to Holland in the corner, but Stroud didn't see him. Nearly lost the ball out of bounds.
Donovan Yap is in for Fresno State with Holland, Campbell, and Robinson. High arcing shot, missed everything. And it goes to San Diego State.
Well, Robinson is a very good three-point shooter, but the step back from beyond the three-point arc off the dribble is not really a shot you want to see your big guy taking.
They met in San Diego not long ago and played an overtime game. San Diego State won it. Seiko ball fake 3. That's what he does. He makes 3s.
And he showed you there, he's not just a catch and shoot three-point guy. That was really good discipline and patience.
He is 3 of 3 from distance. Has 9 points in the game.
This is really a nice job. He gives the fake, and then with the dribble still stays behind the three-point line. He moves just a little bit to his left, gets the opening, and knocks it down.
Robinson operating out of the high post here. Big step through, left hand, and he's fouled. Mensah did the damage, and Robinson gets to the line.
That's good persistence by Robinson, because Mensah cut him off, but he switched to the left hand and was able to drive it and get close. And that's where Robinson has been at his most effective tonight, in close.
One of the things teams try to do, and Mark Fisher, assistant coach for San Diego State, noted it tonight, is disguise where the double team comes when you go for Robinson.
Well, San Diego State has made it difficult for Robinson tonight because they forced him to catch the ball away from the basket, and he's had to be very inventive and creative getting close to the basket off the dribble.
Two-point game. Pressure. Seiko.
He dribbled out beyond the three-point arc. He was looking for one, but good recovery there by Colomario to cut him off.
Baker Mazzara can shoot threes as well, though he hasn't had a lot of looks in this ball game. He's 2 for 3 from the field, hasn't attempted a three, and Butler gets in and scores and then goes down hard. I don't know if he was hit. Here's a look. Ooh, Robinson following through on a block attempt.
Hit him right in the face.
Right down on top of him.
Just to follow through, trying to block the shot, and down he goes. That's a really good play by Butler, though, to take the ball in there. Even if he misses that shot, Mensah is in perfect rebounding position because Robinson had to commit to trying to block the shot.
And the officials are going to look at this.
Well, I think any time you have contact to the face or the head, I think you have to take a look at it. But with the last flagrant foul they had, they said it wasn't a basketball play. That looked like a basketball play to me. It's a tie game.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Werner, the official ladder of NCAA March Madness.
Las Vegas, home of the Mountain West Conference Tournament. Final game of the day and the night. And it's 37 apiece, Fresno State and San Diego State. Rich Waltz, Dan Bonner, Evan Washburn. What did you see, Dan Bonner?
Well, after review, they decided that this was not excessive and or unnecessary. It was just a regular basketball play. I mean, he's trying to block the shot, and he makes inadvertent contact. And even though it's contact with the face, he didn't really follow through hard.
Could it have been a common foul? Not a flagrant foul, just a regular garden variety foul?
Could have been.
We check in with Evan Washburn. Evan?
Well, guys, we've laid the storyline out all night about how these two teams are basically built as carbon copies with Hudson and then Dutcher. And in that last huddle for San Diego State, the idea came up, who's going to loosen up defensively first in these final 8 minutes because of fatigue. And you can tell either side doesn't want to be the one that relents.
That's a good point, Evan, on a couple of fronts. The defensive front, that foul was Robinson's third. But the fatigue front is important when you're talking Fresno State. They've played 3 consecutive overtime games. That's one shy of an NCAA record held by many. But still, that's a lot. Butler, step back, 3. Nice! From the baseline, Baker Mazzara.
You know, in a game like this, that might be your best offense. Go get it. Go get it off the rim.
San Diego State fans on their feet. Robinson calling for it. Mensah defending. The double comes. Step through, hook, yes.
Oh, what a tough shot that was. And again, great patience. A couple of guys tried to fake at him, but he maintained his balance. And that's a tough shot.
17 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists for Robinson. Butler fumbled. That's turnover.
Butler's a guy you play for the drive, but here he misses the shot. Nobody blocks out Baker Mazzara. And then one guy fakes at him, another guy fakes at him, and Robinson's able to maintain his poise and his dribble, and that's a really, really nice shot.
39-39, under 7 minutes left. The 3 quarterfinals before this, decided by a total of 7 points. missed opportunities at the buzzer. Fantastic finishes. That's blocked by Mensah. Robinson got it back. Then lost it to Pulliam. Robinson has 3 fouls. He's got to be careful here.
Somebody's open.
Baker Mazzara, not the guy you want to leave.
But Robinson went to help out because there was a mismatch. Mensah was matched up against Hill on the inside, and by double teaming Mensah, they left Baker Mazzara wide open.
Big shot, San Diego State. Back cut, Hollins. Penetration, but no shot. Robinson, there's that fall away. And that one way off the mark. Mensah got by him, missed it, rebounds, held ball. It's a heck of a play by Anthony Holland to get his arms in there and hold on to it, and the arrow goes to Fresno State.
Well, here's the key to this last basket right here. Mensah is matched up against the smaller guard, and Robinson comes over, and nobody's over here in the corner. And that's, as you mentioned, that is a very good three-point shooter, but that whole sequence was created because Mensah was mismatched inside against Hill.
San Diego State has just one score in double figures. That's Trey Pulliam with 10. Orlando Robinson with an 18, the only double-figure scorer for Fresno State. Isaiah Hill working overtime to break this press, gets by Pulliam, which is not easy. A ropes back in. Robinson goes right at him, and he's fouled. Free throws coming. 10th double-double of the season for Robinson, 18 and 10.
The rope has been pretty effective against Robinson, but that time he was trying to double team and then was trying to react back to Robinson, and Robinson took advantage.
Free throw is good. Coming up next, Inside College Basketball. What a day in all the conference tournaments, and what's the meaning of it? The big wins, the upsets, the losses, the brackets. Bracket week continues on CBS Sports Network after this great day of quarterfinals in the Mountain West Conference. Robinson makes 1 of 2. The lead is 2 for the Aztecs of San Diego State, who have appeared in 4 consecutive championship games in this tournament.
That's a great job by Calamario to jump out on Bradley.
Keyshawn Johnson against Robinson.
Oh,
Scores!
wow!
And a foul. And if it's Robinson, let's wait. Robinson has 3. We had him earlier with 3. But right now for the official scores table, they're telling us that's his 3rd.
Well, this is a powerful move by Johnson. He sort of pushes off a little bit, but then with the fake, he gets Robinson off his feet and jumps into Robinson.
Four and a half left.
That was Johnson's first basket of the game. This is as big a lead as San Diego State has possessed, is it not?
Yes. It was 4. Now it's 5. Holland. Robinson begging for the ball. Against the rope again. Jumper. And Pulliam has the rebound. And San Diego State, in a game where it's been hard to find some, has some momentum right now.
Again, they do a great defensive job pushing Robinson away from the block, making him go outside a little further than he wants to go.
Baker Mazzara got it up. A rope knocks it out. And that's a Fresno State ball. 3:48 left in this ball game. San Diego State has the lead. A 5-point lead despite Orlando Robinson's 19 points. Bracket Week presented by Kubota. Nice run by San Diego State. This is a 13-3 run. It's been fueled by the bench.
Well, and Seiko came off the bench and knocked down threes at a time when threes were at a premium. And then Baker Mazar, the 6th man of the year in the Mountain West Conference, scores a big basket on the inside and then knocks down what may be the most critical 3 of the game.
AT&T 5G game summary. You see the bench points. Both teams are shooting it better, and there's a much better flow than the first half.
And each team has cut down on turnovers. Each team had 11 turnovers in the first half. So you see now they really cut down on that problem in the second half. And the 5 3-point baskets by San Diego State, I think, have been really, really important in building this lead.
Well, you see Bradley at the bottom there, who averages 18 tonight, has just 5. But with the bench scoring, and Pulliam's 10, Seiko's 3 threes, Baker Mazara now has 9. It's enough to nudge San Diego State in front at 45-40. With 3:48 left. Overtime game the last time they met, just a short while ago. San Diego State won that one. San Diego State won on the road at Fresno State, beat Justin Hudson's team in Fresno. Let's see, coming out of the timeout, Fresno State trying to slow this run down. The 13-3 run. Ballard feeds Robinson, who seemingly touches it on every possession. There's the double. Steps through. Hill, shot fake, feeds. Holland missed the 3 badly. And that was a clean look, too.
Yeah, it was a clean look. And Holland was 0 for 6 from 3 yesterday. He's 0 for 3 from 3-point range today. And it's really hard, Justin Hudson's team, to get a lot of offense if Holland can't make a 3.
And the amazing thing is he's their best 3-point
yes.
shooter. 47% on the season.
And 0 for 9 in this tournament so far.
Bradley wants a touch.
I think this is almost a must stop here for Fresno State.
Feels that way. Good ball fake. Skip. Keyshawn Johnson. No. And Fresno State has the rebound. That's the guy for Fresno State you want shooting the 3 is Keyshawn Johnson. Despite his recent success, he's now 6 of 30 on the season. How much does Fresno State have in the tank here?
And that is a really good question. We talked about Holland missing those 3s. Remember, he played 45 minutes yesterday. And he's played over 33 minutes today.
I mean, Robinson, his last 3 games. Blocked by Mensah. Robinson's played 47.5 minutes, 43 minutes, and 40 minutes in his last 3 games. It's the 4th block by Mensah in this ball game.
But again, Robinson just has to go too far, or go through too many guys to get to the basket. Just has not had many opportunities in the low post tonight.
Ballard guarding Bradley, who scores. No, offensive foul.
Bradley pushed off.
The reaction from Brian Dutcher in front of the San Diego State bench. Bradley doesn't believe it. Here's a look.
He throws that arm out there. It wasn't much of a throw, but he did throw that arm out there. Right there, that right arm. And Ballard, boy, that's why he had such a big lane. Ballard ran right into Campbell, so there was nobody at the basket. Been a tough night for Bradley.
Second foul on Bradley. Campbell drives, stops. Bradley got a piece of it. That's going to be a held ball. That's going to be
a timeout.
He got it just in time to avoid It would have been a San Diego State ball. 1:47 left. It's a 5-point San Diego State lead. Nothing sexy about this game tonight. 45-40. San Diego State on top of Fresno State. Minute 47 left. I mean, it's who San Diego State is. It's in their DNA. And Brian Dutcher's team, all the way back to Steve Fisher, all the way back to when Justin Hudson was helping design the defense. It's always been one of the best in the country.
Well, those are impressive numbers. Those aren't the Mountain West ranks there. Those are the national ranks. I don't know that they're going to get to plus 9.2 tonight, but this has really been a great defensive performance.
Fresno State needs points.
Quickly.
Robinson takes the three. Robinson hits the three.
Well, when you're in trouble, that's where you go. If you're Fresno State, that's a huge basket.
22 and 10 for Robinson. Now, San Diego State will try to answer. Bradley begging for the ball. William waits. Pick and roll with Mensah, who turns and is not guarded and scores.
That's an unlikely source for a basket, but that is a really good screen and roll.
Hill, mismatch with Mensah. Ballard launches. Mensah the rebound, and a foul here, a rebounding foul on San Diego State.
And Robinson is angry. He was wide open and they missed him. No problem here. He's wide open from beyond the three-point line. And then Mensah just rolls to the basket. Robinson cannot recover in time. Sort of gets tangled up with his own man, and a nice little left-handed hook by Mensah.
3 fouls on Matt Bradley. And Orlando Robinson is back at the line.
I think a really nice job by the officials right there. Bradley was upset, and they calmed things down without calling a technical foul. You don't want to do that. You don't want to get a technical, but nice job by the officials to keep everybody calm.
Front end of the 1-and-1 missed. Opportunity.
I think you have to foul.
Yep, Justin Hudson just said that. Foul him.
Now, one of the reasons you have to foul is that's only the 16th foul. You got to be careful, though, in that situation. You don't want to wrap your arms around somebody. That'd be a flagrant foul.
You got to foul so that your next foul forces a free throw. 45 seconds left in this ball game. This Fresno State team has been through the gauntlet. 3 overtime games coming into this one. And tonight, their prize is you have to play against San Diego State for 40. And they are down by 4. One more foul puts San Diego State at the line.
And I think you'll see Brian Dutcher doing some offense. This is what we're talking about. You know, 2 overtimes, overtime.
And, you know, that middle game is at altitude. That's not easy at Wyoming. And they're not deep. Justin Hudson doesn't have a deep rotation. So as you pointed out, Holland played 45 minutes in the overtime yesterday. Robinson's been 40 minutes or more in all 3 of those games.
Important thing there is that the possession arrow is in favor of San Diego State. And if you're Brian Dutcher, what you're doing right now, you want to get your free throw shooters in the game because you know they're going to foul.
If you're thinking 3 for Fresno State, it's not been easy tonight from that distance. 4 of 17.
Well, your best 3-point shooter, as we mentioned, is Anthony Holland, and he's 0 for the tournament.
And there was a time where San Diego State wasn't a great free throw shooting team, but they've cleaned that up. They've started the game at 70%. "14 consecutive tournament opening wins for San Diego State."
If you're Fresno State, the guy you want to foul is Mensah. He's a 55% free throw shooter.
What are the odds that they inbound it to Mensah?
Well, I think you cover everybody else and make them throw it to Mensah.
That's right.
If you're Robinson, you just pull away from him. Let Mensah catch the ball.
There he is. He was open. Instead, Bradley comes to get it, and they have to foul Bradley. He was almost, Mensah, the last resort.
Well, he was the last resort. He was wide open. They didn't throw it to him.
Bradley, 79%.
Well, he's 79%, and that's one of the reasons why you're a good free throw shooting team. When you're one of your best free throw shooters is the guy who goes to the line more than anybody else.
He's been able to really score from the line. His last 3 games, 24 points from the free throw line.
But this is a one-on-one.
Ouch, he missed it. And life for Fresno State. Hill races up the floor.
Got to score fast.
Hunting a 3.
Don't need a 3. Travel.
Oh, a turnover and a really costly one for Fresno State.
You know, that's a situation where you get the ball up the court quickly and you get it in Robinson's hands. He's got to have the ball. And they had a mismatch, but Hill wasn't able to get to it because he traveled. They forced Mensah to switch out onto Hill, and that left Robinson inside against the guard. Again, you let Mensah catch the ball.
Seiko. He's fouled? No, a timeout. San Diego State calls the timeout, 29 seconds left.
Seiko doesn't get to the free throw line very much. He's only 66%. And remember, these are 1+1. They just missed the front end of a 1-on-1. So now San Diego State down to 1 timeout. You know, you think they're 29.3 seconds. That's a lot of time, but the score's 47-43. These teams have had a hard time scoring. So a 4-point lead in a game like this is a big, big lead.
Justin Hudson's team has shot 38% from the field, 23% from 3.
Well, Mensah's all alone, but it's going to be hard to get to him to foul.
And Baker Mazzara, who is a 90% free throw shooter.
Well, you wanted to leave Mensah open, but you don't want to leave him this open. I mean, he's not even in the picture. So you can't get to him to foul him.
And so Baker Mazzara lines this one up.
And he is their best free throw shooter. Baker Mazzara has made some big plays tonight.
He had a big game at Fresno. He had 20 points in that one. He's the leading scorer now with 11 points.
Well, early in the first half, he had that follow-up that was really important, and then he hit that big 3. So he's had a pretty good game.
Now you pretty much need a 3. You're down by 6 here. Robinson rises, hits.
Wow. That's exactly what you needed, and that guy's been your best 3-point shooter in this tournament.
That's the guy you want to foul there, Seiko. Robinson, 25 points, 11 rebounds. He's 3 of 3 from beyond the arc.
And they're trying to get to him, but I mean, he's just so smooth out there. Seiko can't really pressure it. Mensah got caught up on the screen. Seiko, as we said, he hadn't been to the line much. Only 8 for 12 on the season. Now 9 for 13.
Hits them both. Big free throws for San Diego State. Last gasp for Fresno State. Hill up the floor. Drives. Blocked by Mensah. Bradley secures. And Robinson and Bradley And cooler heads prevail for both of them. And for San Diego State, they are going to survive and advance.
And fittingly, it's a defensive play. Mensah gets over there and swats the thing.
5 blocks for Mensah. And you know, this may not have been, of the 4 quarterfinals, this certainly wasn't the prettiest. But this is the biggest margin of victory of the 4 quarterfinals.
Well, think about Mensah for a minute. You know, he's the defensive player of the year, but he's got 6 points, 6 rebounds. He's got 5 block shots. He's got an assist, and he's got a steal.
Orlando Robinson is coming out of the ball game. Is it his last game at Fresno State? He's a guy that has talked about NBA aspirations. He's had a heck of a run. If it is, it's over, and San Diego State wins their 15th straight tournament opener here in Las Vegas. The Aztecs, the 3 seed, take care of business, but not before the 6 seed Fresno State put up a really good fight.
We expected a defensive struggle, and that's exactly what we got. And San Diego State made just enough shots. I think Seiko coming off the bench hitting 3s. Baker Mazar with a big 3-point basket and some big free throws. So the top 4 teams all advanced to the semifinals.
It's chalk into the semifinals, but it wasn't easy for Boise State, for Wyoming, for Colorado State, and now for Matt Bradley and San Diego State. That guy played a heck of a game. 25 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists for Orlando Robinson, the junior, in front of the hometown fans here. He's a Las Vegas guy. So is Evan Washburn, and he's down below. Let's join him.
Hey, Rich, here with Trey Pulliam. In a defensive game like this that I'm sure you were expecting, what's the difference in getting the win?
I mean, it's a hard-fought win. Both teams playing high-level defense. Just trying to make a few more plays with them just to come out on top.
With Matt Bradley held in check, what did you feel like you needed to do offensively?
Just play my game, let it come to me, try to get him in his rhythm, just play my game and play in my rhythm.
So you got Colorado State coming up tomorrow night. You split with them in the regular season. Your thoughts on the 3rd meeting?
I mean, it'll be a good one. I mean, like you said, we lost to them. We beat them the first time. Second time we lost to them on a 1-point last-second shot. So, I mean, we owe them one. So it'll be a good battle.
Trey, thanks for the time. Get some rest.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, Evan, great day for you for all quarterfinals. Pulliam was terrific in this one. For Dan Bonner, Evan Washburn, our producer Ken Mack, Mark Grant, our director, our entire crew. I'm Rich Waltz. This, a presentation of CBS Sports Network, 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Back to New York for Adam and the gang. We're back to Vegas tomorrow night for the semifinals. Good night.